All right. So, as we begin, let me go ahead and go over what happened last time. Make sure everybody is up to date on what's going on, and then we'll begin. So, last time we started out with you all bursting into the safe house that you've been guided to, on the run from a large hound beast and the rider atop it. As you settled in, you realized a few things about the location. It was guarded with a number of old protection runes that old protection runes that only the most studied of you could even begin to interpret. Thankfully, a number of these runes also helped to conceal your presence, allowing you to use the small fireplace to warm the room up. Beyond that, you took the last couple of hours of daylight to study the map given to you and figure out some alternative routes, although ultimately you decided on the quickest path to your destination, rather than the path of least resistance. As you called it a night, you all, one by one, fell to rest. No need for lookouts or guard duty since you were in the safe house, so you were all able to sleep until a familiar sound awoke you all. Harold, screaming in his sleep yet again, waking you all. Mumblings of 4 days and the cloaked figure with claw-like hands, kind of referring back to the small one the previous day who had asked you if you'd be interested in a trade. Annoyed by the second night of interrupted sleep, you all seeing the benefit, at least, to an early wake-up, you took advantage and got out into the city streets, hoping you'd be out before others would kind of start to make their way out and about. After some hours sneaking through the city streets, you came upon a group of hobgoblins. 3 soldiers and 1 large great axe wielding one that stood at what appeared to be an old city well. Attempting stealth at first ultimately failed before your presence was noted, and the enemy swarmed you. After a grueling battle in which many of you found yourselves on the edge of death, one going unconscious, you ultimately defeated the group of hobgoblins. Searching the bodies, you come across a respectable amount of gold, I think 200 in total, and 2 rare talismans that would allow you to conduct some medical healing without worrying about any negative reaction. And so, just as Turtle was attempting to heal one of you, a new figure appeared. Long, black hair, finely dressed in colors of kind of gold, red, and black. To you all, at least, a tiefling-esque kind of creature would appear before you. Unable to tell you his name, just alluding to this feeling that he was disconnected and not of this world. After a bit of back and forth, a few of you actually took some deals, rewarded a few items, although unsure exactly what you had traded away to receive. Deciding to tag along with you, the new figure would kind of travel forward with you all. And so as just as kind of Turtle finished up, suturing up a wound or whatever it would be, you all joined as one group and started to make your way forward with, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and this is just remembering the last session, I believe, since you're all low on health, that the goal now is to reach the nearest safe house to at least tend to your wounds and kind of see what you're going to do moving forward, right?
That's correct.
All right. So let me get some music going, and we'll ask some clarifying questions as we jump on it. Okay. So you have the direct path, and even on the map that has been provided to you, there are small squares kind of indicating where other safe houses in the city might be. Now, some of them are off the path that you're currently on, but I do want to ask, considering the state of a number of you, continuing to press forward in the most, the most direct sense, seems to be I'm going to say, just like, without having to make a roll, this is almost like a common sense sort of thing, right? Because some of you are so injured, right? Really low on health, potentially one hit depending on, the state that you're in. As you press forward, are you wanting to stick to that same direct path, or are you looking to maybe kind of make things a bit easier on yourself and just kind of reach out maybe towards the, the closest safe house available to you without having to worry
You
about
suffer. It's like a curse, but there is hope for you yet.
without having to worry about like running across them ultimately.
We studied that map though, right? Like,
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
but did we not? Was
we
this
have
portion not part of
we
the?
have if we're headed northeast, let's say a straight shot, there's there's veering points going in each direction.
Mhm.
That'll take us a little bit longer, but ultimately still reach the same safe houses and our goal.
Exactly. So, yeah, looking at the map now, right, taking a quick kind of quick look, or even for some of you who studied, I'm going to say that you can just easily recall. You know that on the path ahead, there is another point, just like the one you just came across, right, with the hobgoblins, indicating that something is there, although you're not entirely sure exactly what it is. So, this is the fastest way, but again, that comes with some hazard thrown in. So, are you looking to veer off the direct path and just make your way to the nearest safe house, or are you just continuing the path forward, risking whatever it might be that you may come across, and then, again, it's the fastest path to the safe house, right? Because I assume that's the main focus now, considering the health of the group. Right. Obak is 12.
I go.
Yeah.
I look at the devil-like a figure that has joined us that has amnesia, that has no recollection of his own name, but does recall certain, he's obviously capable of doing things, although he doesn't know why. I look at him and say, we're headed in this direction, and I point to what appears to be, the center, the epicenter. So this path is dangerous and we're wounded. We know of a couple of alternate directions. Can your intuition, or do you have a feeling that we should either pass in A, B, or C directions?
Ask him to kind of intuit the appropriate path forward. He's currently kind of standing. He's kind of got his hands like kind of behind his back. Kind of think about it. What? I guess meta-wise, I don't want to be the one making the decisions for you all. So, but if he can intuit, let me make a roll. Actually, you set this off, so go ahead and roll me a d20 straight. Mastodon. A 15. Okay. You wanted to say something?
I'll wait till you're through.
Okay. Yeah. So with the 15, it kind of looks you all over. Well, I can only assume that at full strength you are a capable group, but you do not seem to be in full strength as is. I can help a bit, but I do not believe I'd be able to bring you all up to perfect health. Again, as I'm tagging along, I do want to provide some aid in the path forward, but I am following your lead. So you kind of look to the ones.
I think we should take the path of least resistance.
We have two alternate routes. Both are going to be less dangerous than the one we're on now. We're bloodied up, and Gregor, you're at death's door.
Let me see the map for a second.
All right.
Who has
Or-
it?
You
Mastodon.
suffer.
think
It's
Oba-
not
Can I
a
give,
curse, but there
Can I
is
give
hope
Gregor
for
my
you yet.
my minor healing potion?
Sure. Pass it over. Yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
Well, one of them anyway. See how much it heals, and then
Fair enough.
if he needs another one.
Yeah, I think Obak had the map, right? Am I mistaken?
I did the first time. I don't know. Sure, I can say Obak rolled it back up and took it again.
Yeah. So pass it on over.
Could I have a? So what I kind of want to do here is I kind of want to just look at the routes and see how, and taking into consideration how much time we have, how long each route would take us with rest, like per day.
Yeah. So
Should I give you a survival roll or?
yeah. Give me a
What I
survival
guess
roll.
what percentage have we moved forward on that map in like 1 day's time?
Yeah, for sure.
Surely we could kind of assess that based on what we're looking at.
100%. Yeah, and it's not a difficult roll. So with the 13, you feel as though you're roughly about halfway to the destination. The place that you need to go is actually kind of squared in, much larger, right? On the map, like it indicating that it's a large location. But with the 13, so you're 1 day in, essentially, right? 1.5 days, basically. You've had one evening that you've slept, and now you're kind of roughly at the, we'll say, by this time, probably at like the middle afternoon of the next day, right? So we'll say it's like 11, 12 o'clock-ish, right? And you're about roughly halfway there. So if things continue as they are now, with the need for kind of stopping and starting, you know, depending on the things you face on your path, you're essentially looking at, you know, if you're halfway there, another day and a half worth of time to reach the location. So that's 3 days in, and then, you know, depending on how fast you get out. The slower routes, or rather I guess the intuition here is that you could potentially make it there faster, so long as you're not running into stuff that forces you to stop, right? That's kind of like the big thing, right? Technically, you could get through all these, like, and I guess this is more of like a meta conversation now. Technically, you could get through all these encounters. Depending on how the dice go, I mean, they're all kind of set up. If you're going straight there, it's the hardest way there as far as like battles go, but it is the quickest way. So long as you're able to keep going, right? Whereas,
Let's take an alternate route so we can get some rest and tend to our wounds. In the morning, we can plow through forward.
I'm concerned about our timeline. At some point, we'll have to gain some time if we're going to take this delay.
There's only one way we're making it out of here. If we grab that orb, we're going to have to run out. I have a feeling we're not going to be able to take our time regardless on our way out. This whole place, whatever is in that epicenter, the tear, all the things that we've been told from rumor, we're not going to have time to lollygag out of here. We're going to have to run out of here regardless.
I agree with Mastodon here.
Obak will begrudgingly agree, just due to the state of the wounds that he's accrued over the last battle. He doesn't want to take an alternate route, but sees the necessity.
Well, yeah, fair enough. So we'll say, I'll leave it in your hands. You have the B route, which is, you go around a few things, but you also make the more direct path still. And then you have the C route, which is like completely ignoring what was on the map, and this is like purely your own charting to get, you know, where you need to go, but it completely avoids any type of, at least for the map that you have, it completely avoids any of the kind of listed potential encounter. So, B or C?
I say we take the path of least resistance just by the amount of time it'd take. We'd still be able to get out of here and have the strength to fight our way out if necessary. So.
Yeah, I agree with Gregor.
Okay. That's 2 votes for C. We got Turtle, Obach, and...
I look at Gregor's wounds and his disheveled state, and I say, based on the looks of you, I'd agree.
Yeah.
Let's get some sleep.
Agreed. And the next time one of you takes an axe to the rib of that giant monstrosity, I'll be willing to take a break as well.
Okay, so that's 3 to, even if the other 2 are the opposite way, we've got 3, we have the majority of votes towards one direction. So, deciding on the path of least resistance, right, to avoid any type of, because of the state they're in, right, to just do your best to avoid anything coming up. Yeah, the one traveling along with you, the devil, as you call, will mostly be kind of like quiet as you all travel forward. And I'm going to say, because you're the one who did it, I think Macedon is the one that kind of has to take lead here, because you're the one who's kind of routed out these other potential, directions to go. So with Macedon up front, I'd say that the devil-like creature is pretty up near the front as well, and then however the marching order.
Right?
Well, you have to make it there first. Right?
Oh, true. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right. We're still on the side. Okay.
Yeah, you're still like outside in the streets. So.
Right.
So, yeah, with Macedon leading the way, Macedon, go ahead and roll me a D6.
Oh no. Oh no.
Either really good or really bad.
Yeah. So now I have to roll. Okay. All right. So continue on the path forward. Again, path of least resistance. As you travel along, it is mostly quiet. Occasionally you hear sounds of violence rise up through the city, far, not necessarily like too far away from you, but far enough that you're able to avoid it, but you still hear it, right? The various factions of the city kind of plotting and working against each other. Maybe even every now and again you'd see like a blast of like a bright light that kind of, despite the fact that you're outside in the middle of the day with the sun out, this light is still even brighter, right? And it kind of blinds you from one direction for momentarily, right? Doesn't overtake you, doesn't seem to kind of cause any actual effects to you directly, but it is kind of present as the various, the various factions throughout the city just kind of work against each other.
I'd like to look at everybody and say, hey, pick up the pace. I'm hungry.
Okay, so when hustling, group can hustle for an additional 20 minutes. Perfect. So
maybe buy us some time, before sundown.
Yeah. So you can hustle for a minute equal to your constitution, so it's times 10. So what is your constitution modifier? We'll just run it off yours.
It's pretty juicy. Let me see here.
+4, I think.
Unfortunately, this uses the lowest amongst the group, since it is the group in general. So,
No.
I think that might be Gregor, right? With the +1, unless Turtle Run has a low constitution, which I don't think so.
My constitution, no.
Yep,
So
that is Gregor. So, unfortunately, having to base it off the slowest or the least constitutional. It's constitution modifier times 10, so minimum of 10 minutes, but with your pick up the pace, it's an additional 20. So for 30 minutes, you can rush like as fast as you can.
But doesn't it say to a maximum of the amount the character with the highest constitution modifier could hustle alone? It says right there with the highest, not with the lowest.
Let's see. Okay. When hustling in a group expression, your group can hustle for an minutes to a maximum of the amount of time the character with the highest could hustle alone. Okay. So then it's worded really weird. So your group can hustle for up to 20 additional minutes to a maximum of the amount that you could hustle alone, right? So hustling in a group unfortunately has its own specific rule, right? So if you are in a group, you use the lowest, but this essentially lifts that because it basically makes it so that you can do 30 minutes rather than just 10 if you had to, right? So it basically wait, actually no, I think you're right. I think this overrides. So then I think who has the highest constitution here? I believe that's
Macedon and I are the same.
yeah, so
Plus 3.
Okay, so that's 30 plus an additional 20, so 50 minutes. So yeah, you're able to, essentially force I believe everybody except the two of you, right? Because Harold, Turtle, and Gregor could absolutely not keep up this pace, but you're able to kind of instill that in the others. And so, foregoing stealth, knowing that, at least potentially hoping that you're not going to run into anything, you all just break for it, like entirely. This is the same speed as when you were rushing away from the Hound Rider as they kind of tore after you.
Can I shapeshift?
Sure, if you'd like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll use up 1, I believe. So, just a heads up. But what creature are you specifically going for? Because I think.
Wait, I use a spell slot on shapeshift?
Yeah, you do. Wild shape.
Okay. Yeah, no.
No? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. It's tradition.
Perfect. All right. So you rush forward, and throwing yourselves at a pace. One thing you'll notice is that the devil that is following along never really seems to be bothered by the pace at all. Right? He just kind of continues on, at whatever pace you set. Doesn't seem to be sweating. Doesn't seem to be out of breath or anything. Whereas, especially for like Turtle, Harold, and Gregor, this is physically taxing, right? This is a very difficult thing to do for the extended period of time that you're having to do it. But I'm going to say, with the rolls and everything, after 30 minutes, you arrive at one of the off the beaten path safe houses available to you. So you start to make your way in, opening the door, which opens itself to you. Gregor and Harold. Turtle, Macedon, Nobog pass through just fine. No problems. They make their way in, and we'll say that Gregor, you're in the back, or we'll say Gregor, you're up next, with Harold behind you. And it's actually kind of funny that this is happening to a Harry Potter-like character, but the two of you approach, looking to enter into the safe house, but you are met with an invisible barrier.
The hell?
Like you walk in, and it's almost like walking flatly directly into a stone wall, right? It's like,
okay,
it violently
probably our-
can I
throws you
cast
back.
Dispel Magic?
You would like to dispel magic?
Yeah.
Sure.
Harold.
I'll go ahead and cast that directly towards the safe house door.
Yeah. So your dispel magic. This is you're using a second level spell slot for this. Okay. So.
It's Gregor and Harold that are
Herald,
stuck.
it's our weapons, I think.
So, attempt to counteract a magic item. Okay. So I guess you need to roll me a d. How does this work? Counteract. Let's see. It's the first time I've come across this, so sorry. Let me check the rules on that. When attempting a counter check, add the relevant skill modifier or the appropriate if you check against target's DC. So, use the caster's DC. Okay, and then. Okay. Yeah, I need you to make me a d20 plus 8 roll. So basically, like your yeah, you can just do that naturally. What happens if you hit that? Oh, actually, yeah, just hit the counteract in the bar.
Yeah, I just roll.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. For those of you inside, you look back and you see Harold cast this check. You're all inside, right? Macedon, Turtle, and Obak. As you look back, the runes on the door, right? The ones that kind of surround the door, essentially making this a safe house, will start to, not the building itself, but the runes themselves on the wall will start to kind of crack and break. You can walk in just fine, but Harold, you have disabled the protections of the safe house.
Yeah, that's what I figured it was gonna happen.
I thought that might happen as well.
I think it's our weapons. I think I'd look at the noble. Any particular reason why us being the only two who treated with you are being denied entry?
I don't know. He will kind of just make his way inside.
Wait, Mastodon traded as well.
Excuse
God
me.
damn it.
Excuse me?
I don't think you can hear us.
Macedon traded in gold.
Excuse me? I made no such trade. The devil man here healed me a little. You know, didn't top me off, and I paid him handsomely for it. Almost a third of my earnings. They said
Okay.
nothing is free. Devil man, you said you're capable of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Would you...
Devil man.
Would you be able to protect this dwelling for the evening so we might get a good night's rest? Is there anything that you feel that you can do to enhance the level of security in this small shack?
He kind of looks around. He makes his way in as if there was nothing there to kind of stop him. After Harold kind of completes his check, kind of looks around. Yeah, I believe I can do something that would help. I'll be staying here myself, so, you know, don't worry about the charge. So,
Of course.
kind
I'll
of turns
turn around
back.
and
Yeah.
Start a fire.
He turns
Get
back
right
and looks
to
at Harold and Gregor. You know, just kind of shrugs his shoulders. No use standing in the street.
I thought the protections were disabled.
Yeah, they are. Did you make your way in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
we can come in and
yeah,
Okay.
Previously, it stopped you, but now you can enter right in with no problem.
I'm not sure how safe this is gonna be.
Safer than us being outside at least.
I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Go on.
Okay. So you enter in, the door shuts, and the horned figure immediately kind of starts going to work. If anybody wants to potentially, you know, try to decipher what he's doing, feel free to make an occultism check.
Okay.
But where the runes used to be, almost like with a wave of his hands, they all kind of like, you know, like removing dust, you know. it just kind of comes off the white chalk-like powder that was used to help inscribe the runes. Yeah, Harold, you're blown away by this, right? You've never seen anything like it before.
Yeah.
I'll
Wow.
even say that Gregor, this is pretty. Actually, this might be right in line. I guess only Gregor can see this, but as the devil figure starts to kind of weave his own type of runes along the walls and by the door, Gregor, you see it glowing like a magical red aura that seems to kind of trace itself along the lines as they are inscribed by this devil.
Does it feel malevolent?
For you? No. You get it's almost like an intuition feel, right? Like the magic as it kind of hits you. It feels like protective, absolutely. You feel like you are being protected. But I'm going to say that nobody else sees that, right? The rest of you see like the inscription kind of going in, but there is a magical aura within the runes that Gregor, you're able to pick up on, and it's like this red tracing, and it just continues and continues, kind of weaving itself through all of the runes as they are inscribed. The horn figure will kind of just brush off his hands. I think that'll do for this evening. So, he'll just kind of turn around and find a chair and just kind of sit and sit back and just kind of observing. Really, he's not kind of doing anything particular, just kind of sitting there, just kind of observing each one of you as you kind of go along your business. So so you spend the time healing each other up and all that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Do I have to make any rolls for heals?
Nah, I'm gonna say you don't. I'm gonna say though that we'll say it takes roughly, because the way it works, I think it's like 10 minutes per check. How many people do we have injured? So we have Gregor, who's low, Macedon, who's about half, and then Obak is low, but everybody else is... Oh, and yourself. We'll say 30 minutes per person that needs to be taken care of, right? So Gregor, Macedon, Obak, and Turtle. It takes 2 hours ultimately, but you're able to, suture everybody's wounds up, and everybody's able to heal back up to full. So go ahead and
Adjust our HP.
Yeah, just your own HP. Just make sure it's fully up. So the horned figure will be very interested, kind of watching Turtle work closely, right? Just kind of observing everything. Is this how you always have to take care of your wounds? This physical I guess like these physical actions. That's kind of how he'll word it.
You got something better, bud? We asked you. You don't even know your name. What do you want us to do? All we got is leave.
He just kind of shrugged. All right, I'm just curious. I've never met what you are before, so this is a unique experience for me.
Unique?
Yeah. But yeah, 2 hours pass. You're able to heal yourself well enough. You're back to full health, and we'll say it's roughly about 2 p.m. So you still have, if you wanted to press forward, 4 to, well, we'll say it's like 5 hours of daylight left, which based on the map, you feel could definitely get you to the next safe house if you needed to. But you won't get the long rest, obviously. You'll have to push forward as you are now, depending on how, depleted you are with spell slots and all of that. Your choice.
I could use my spells, having been refreshed. I've lost all my major spells from the last fight.
He pretty much can't function without spell slots, so if he needs it, then yeah, that's
100%.
Okay.
Well, I can function without them, but
Yeah, just won't be as good as it.
yeah, I won't be
typically.
able to do all my stuff.
So you'll be, you can get 5 hours closer. If you don't come across anything along the way, you'll be, that much closer without having to worry about, this will be kind of as Obak said, right? Looking at this opportunity now, there's a requirement to earn some time back. This would be that. But again, if you wanted to rest, take your time.
I'm happy to continue on.
Yeah.
If everyone else is, I'm happy to.
I'm down for either. Like if you need to
But I
refresh,
actually think your spells are more important than mine.
I'm okay on my spells. That's what I mean. Like
Yeah, then I think we're
I
good.
didn't. All I was using was cantrips. I think.
Except the entangling flora one.
Yeah, entangling flora is. Well, no, not even that. It's a level 2 cantrip.
Entangling flora.
Oh, I see. Sorry. Level 2 spell. Sorry, my bad. Yep.
Yeah.
No, okay, so I don't have entangling flora. No, actually.
Yeah. For some reason, it didn't expand, but it should have expanded.
So yeah, what does everyone else think? Because
I think I could do without it.
We need to move forward. We don't have time to sleep around another day.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
All right then.
All right. So
We're healed up. We have this guy.
Yeah.
Let's move.
perfect. Okay. So you press forward. Leaving the dispelled and broken safe house. The horn man doesn't really seem to care as you decide, well, let's actually just continue push.
Oops, sorry. Fuck that house up for the future.
Yeah. So
Our bad.
yeah, that's gonna have some implications down the line, but
Yeah, whatever.
so you go to make your way back out into the streets, and everybody's healed back to full. So however, which way you want to make the marching order. But we come back to the D6 that I had you roll. So
Everyone, we don't have to run, but I'm not sneaking on my tippy toes. I clank around anyway. It's not gonna matter.
perfect. Okay. So you press forward, and as you do so, you're coming at it from a different angle. But basically, since you're back to health, I'm assuming it's kind of back to the more direct path, right?
Yeah.
Rather than just like a complete, you took the path of least resistance for a little bit, specifically because you were so injured. But now that you're back to full, right, you feel as though confidently you could probably make it, back to the more direct route. In any case, though, this does take you initially through an area that is not listed on the map. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. So as you continue along the path, actually, yeah, you're still wounded, so that stays, but everything else is good. Okay. You continue along the path until you come to what looks to be like an old kind of guardhouse, almost like an interior city gate of the of the city, right? Like from one district or area of the city to the next. So as you can see, it's just you 5 plus Johnny. That's the way it'll work.
The avatar is not the avatar. The devil is not around.
Nah, he's not around like that. So yeah, you reach this point, and much of the kind of wild has overtaken. When the city was completely back to, was completely like in use, it definitely wouldn't come across like this. Like this would just kind of be stone, but a lot of that kind of wildlife is kind of overtaken and returned. The path directly through, so like what would have been essentially here, kind of straight through, has collapsed in on itself, right? So there's a ton of heavy stones just kind of blocking the way forward. There are a few options to kind of give yourself a bit of space, kind of movement to move around it. But it would require kind of climbing up, wouldn't be fast, and you'd have to kind of just slowly make your way around. So, or you can figure out a way straight through, or however which way you want to do it. But the map is available to you as it is. And if you want to go from this level to this level to this level, it'll require checks to ensure that you can make it up there, such as that. So, currently, you can all give me perception checks to see if you pick up on anything strange or any noise or anything going on. Okay.
Oh, boys, nice rolls.
Yeah, except for one. Yeah, everybody but Obak. I'm gonna say that you all feel pretty confident that things are pretty quiet here, right? Yeah, you don't hear much of anything. It doesn't seem like there's anything kind of going on. It seems pretty quiet. I'm gonna say that Obak, your perception roll is less of a visual or audio cue and more of a paranoia. For you, it's too quiet.
Gregor, do you still have your grappling hook?
I do.
How'd you feel about that?
Hooking up there? I mean, we could do it.
I think
With
if you and I grapple up there, check it out.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
With the uneasy feeling he has, Obak will pull out his.
Go ahead. Pull out what?
His great axe.
Okay.
And kind of just like monitor the surroundings as they seem to be paying attention to the actual gates. He'll kind of like look behind them.
Yeah. So, get the grappling hook. That's an option. Probably have to approach to get a good angle on it. And where are you looking to kind of place his grappling hook, if that's an option, right? You're trying to like get it, directly up the middle and just climb straight around? Are you trying to like, angle it to the side? What's going on? This is for
What do
Gregor.
you want to do, Gregor?
Gregor?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to. I guess I would angle it. How do I ping it?
Just left click and just hold down.
I guess right there.
Okay, so essentially trying to climb from here to here. Right?
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
kind of how it works. Okay. All right. Yeah. You do have the longbow. But but I would say if you approached, it'd probably be an easier check to gain some purchase.
No, let me ask you, do I still have my short bow on, or do I have to discard that?
No, you still have it. You can just have it like over your shoulder. Currently
Right.
I have it drawn so that you have the new one, but if you didn't want to, that's fine.
Well, whatever one it would be easier with.
Yeah, to take the shot, I think it's the same bonus. So
All right.
yeah, we'll say
So
the
I guess
longbow probably a little bit better, gives you a bit more space. But
All right. So
Yeah.
I'll move over there, I suppose.
sure, move on up.
Yep.
All right, and yeah, go ahead and take that shot with the grappling hook.
All right. Oh, it's just a normal shot, I guess.
Fair enough. Yeah, it goes up, strikes in, and seems to catch. You pull on the rope just a bit to kind of see if it's gotten some purchase, and it feels like it has.
All right. I'm gonna make. Should I make an athletic? I'm gonna start climbing. Should I make an
I'm
athletics?
gonna,
Okay.
I'm gonna follow up behind Gregor while he's doing this.
Okay.
I can do that.
Yeah, I'll say everybody's able to move once, real quick.
Boom, baby. What's up?
Very
I just
dirty.
front flip up there.
Nice.
I'm joking.
Could
obviously.
move once, eh?
Yeah, like one time within range, right? So,
Yeah, yeah.
wherever you wish to go. Alright, perfect. Alright, we will pause here. So, Gregor, you're yeah, quite athletic, very used to climbing ropes like nothing. So for you, as soon as the grappling hook has any sort of purchase, you immediately start climbing. Right, the others are kind of behind you, just starting to approach, but you're already halfway up the rope, right? And I'm gonna say that you reach the top perfectly fine. As you reach the top, Gregor, you see it right in front of you. You see a kind of bruised, broken body. It doesn't look extremely recent, right? It looks like it's been out for a few days. And I'm gonna go ahead and just fire it off based on your previous perception check, which was a 22. We'll say you're still on the rope, right? You're peeking your head up to this point, and you can see directly in front of you. You see that corpse start to move, starts to shuffle, it starts to writhe, and slowly kind of pull itself standing at the top. It is at this point that we all need to roll initiative check. So let me go ahead and there we go.
Yeah.
I'd like to quickly analyze the walls and the archway, my knowledge of warfare, and seeing if I can ready myself in a position that would be beneficial for this type of setting.
Absolutely.
Could I say, as he's like animating for my stealth initiative, I'm trying to like get the jump on him?
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, we can go with your since your last check was a natural 20, we can go with 23 being your initiative to start this round.
Okay.
So I'll have to change it, and I think you beat out Obok Dex. So let me go ahead and just drag you up. All right. Perfect. So we'll say that you've reached the top, right? So you're at the top. The rope is now cleared for anybody who wants to make their way up. So as we begin this encounter, Weird. Okay. Mastodon watch. So you rolled warfare for your initiative. Great roll. As you scan the top of the battlements, you start to see movement. You're not entirely sure. You can't see it exactly clearly just yet. But there are definitely more than just, whatever is kind of spooked Gregor in this moment. So there are.
It is. I can tell shit is popping off up there.
Exactly. Yeah. So
I see the rope. It's still taut. I'd like to muster up my athletics and try to get up there with an action.
All right. Let's see. So
why won't it let me roll my athletics, huh? Give me 1 second. This is acting up.
Yeah, it might be acting up. One thing I want to say to climb. I'm
gonna use 2, right?
Well, you're gonna use 2 hands. So you have to stow your weapon. So I'm gonna even say, like, Gregor, you had to stow your bow over your shoulder. So it's gonna take an action to draw your weapon once you get to your feet. So yeah.
I'm gonna have to use all my actions to successfully make it up and draw my weapon.
We'll see. Depending on your check right now, which is the athletic check. 22.
Not bad.
Yeah, perfectly fine. So you're able to you're able to draw yourself up, and you pull yourself up to your feet next to Gregor, and you see right in front of you this this what can only be described as like a zombie-like creature, slow, like already kind of pulled itself up and looking in your direction.
So that's 1 action. I'd like to ready my great sword. Well, I can't. Right? I can attack. I mean, I can if I draw and I run to his position, then he's not. I don't have enough actions to actually melee attack him, do I?
Yeah, not yet. But you'd be right up in combat with him, and maybe Gregor could get a flank off or something.
Do I have to draw on my javelin, or do you count the pull from the back and the throw as 1 action?
It's definitely a draw. You'd have to draw the javelin and then.
If I drew the javelin this round and threw it, would I have to put away my javelin and draw my sword for another action on the next turn?
So if you drew it and threw it, then your hands will be free, so you just have to draw the greatsword, right?
I see.
Yeah. You're essentially drawing 1 and throwing 1. And for some reason you don't have javelins on your character sheet. Not sure why, but
I definitely should have 5 of them.
Yeah.
Because in my last, I show. Well, I guess I stated previously that I'd pick up my javelins, but I must not have added them to my inventory.
It's all good.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna like, with a smirk on my face, I'm gonna run right up to his face, and I'm gonna draw my greatsword, and that'll be my turn.
Okay, perfect. Nice. Okay. So that's your 3 actions. All right. Gregor, I don't know why this keeps happening, but you reach the top.
Okay, I'm going to unsheath my dual wield. Does that count as 1 action?
Your dual wield. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Then I guess I'm gonna.
So you have to essentially have to sheath the. Well, no, the longbow's already sheathed. All right, so we'll say that's done. So then we'll just say you draw the light hammer and the short sword.
Twin takedown.
Okay, that's 1.
And I guess I'll flank this guy if possible.
What's your total movement?
How do I check that?
You have 25. So if you wanted to flank, yeah, you could get here. You'd have to be here to flank.
Okay.
All right.
Does flanking inflict off guard?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Starting with my first attack.
Yeah, target him just to be sure.
Oh, sorry. Nope. Definitely doesn't hit. Probably.
You aimed at yourself. A 16 is enough to hit. Yes. So go ahead and
Oh shit. Okay.
roll the other attack.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunate situation.
And now the other attack.
Hey, you're on the board, dude.
Crit.
Yep.
Bodied him. Oops.
Damage on the second one. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So,
Big boy.
I think adding all that together, let's see, 18 and
22.
then, yeah. You reach the top, and just as this Mastodon rushes forward and is able to kind of gain the attention of this zombie shambler as it kind of stands tall, but you take advantage of that like mindless nature, right? The zombie already starts like reaching forward and is just essentially focused on Mastodon. So you rush past it, you draw both weapons, and from behind, just with a quick 1-2 strike, first cracking the back of the head with the light hammer, but then following up with the short sword like straight through the body. You're able to kind of sever the creature's spine, and in an instant, it falls flat to the ground, unmoving. But since you're here now, I'm gonna say that you can see to the side a number of skeletal remains, all kind of standing and moving along. So, all right. So, that is your turn. Obak.
Yes, sir.
Alright, Obak has his axe out. Is it kind of the same on this side where it would require climbing, or is there any way I can make a jump?
It will require climbing, unfortunately. It's a bit too much. Yeah.
Did those things roll initiative yet?
They have. Yeah.
How would that work if I use my sudden charge that doubles my move speed?
Double your move speed? Sudden charge. I'd say then make me an athletics check, and I'll say you're able to climb an additional. Yeah, because you're able to. The way climb works already, I think it'll just interact with each other. So instead, I'll say you're able to use your double action, your double sudden charge, without having to make the climb check necessarily, right? Like I'll give you that action for free, since you're using the sudden charge, but you still have to make the athletics check to, determine how much you're able to climb. With a 14 in total. So this would be, how much total movement does that give you? That's 40 feet, I believe.
40.
Okay. So, yeah, I'll say that you're able to. Here, I'll move you myself. So you're able to climb to clear this, right? And then clear this, and you're standing essentially pretty like there's a drop down. There's about a drop down about a couple of feet from where you are to down here. But I'll say that you're able to kind of just quickly, using as much movement speed as you can, to rush forward and climb up the sides, and now kind of standing along the edge of what used to be the ceiling, the wall, or the battlements, I guess. You still have one action.
Then I guess I'll just draw my axe again.
Oh, your axe again. Okay, perfect. Yeah, and since you're there, you'll see appearing, right, another one of these zombie-like bodies just kind of slowly lifting itself up off the ground. Wait. Why did
the turn order's messed up because
Yeah.
Alex rolled initiative? Oh.
What
I was wondering when I was gonna go.
Oh yeah, you rolled the athletics as an initiative check and not as an athletics check. Okay, so technically Alex. Okay, thank God. Yeah.
That's weird. I did it straight off of the attribute.
The core
Oh, did I
skills.
do it as an attribute instead of a skill? Whoops.
Yeah, you gotta do it as a skill. But all good. All right. So yeah, that's your 3 actions. And so, yeah, this one will rise up. And looking over the edge of the battlements, it's gonna be D4 depending on who gets targeted here. 1 and 2, Harold. 3 and 4.
Hey,
Turtle.
Trill, why don't the remaining mobs show up on our fight list?
Because they were. There you go.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, it's only as they appear
As
in
they
battle.
okay, I understand.
Whereas they're seen, I should say. So I'll do the ones that have been seen currently. Okay, and this one doesn't have to because they're dead. Perfect. Okay. All right. So 1 and 2, Harold. 3 and 4, Turtle. Or I guess 3, Turtle, and then 4, Johnny. But focused on Harold. So yeah, this one will rise up and with a short bow just kind of reach over and take a shot towards Harold. This is so
Oh
fun.
my god.
So
Fucking vaporized.
vaporized.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Not the worst. Not the worst you could take.
Yeah, not the worst. So
It's gonna take 3 more shots directly at Harold.
So, Harold, before you're able to like kind of get into position and kind of start to move towards the rope, you feel this arrow hit you from the side and kind of, we'll say, maybe kind of like where your hip is, and it pierces through whatever little armor that you have and kind of embeds itself within you. Second action is going to be, it's going to take another one. Shooting another one. The arrow goes wide. Well, actually, the arrow will kind of narrowly miss, and then for its final action, it'll essentially hide itself behind the battlements, raising its AC for ranged attack. All right, next one will stand up, and because it actually has eyes on Macedon and Gregor, it'll be 1 and 2 Gregor, 3 and 4 Macedon. Focus on Gregor. So
Naturally.
yeah, first strike, shoot out, critically misses. The arrow goes extremely wide. Second strike, even worse, or actually technically not even worse, just narrowly misses. And then for its final action, it doesn't have to move, so it'll just arrow after arrow after arrow, but it misses them all.
God.
Doesn't seem like it has great control over itself.
Weave.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Loser.
All right, Turtle. The rope is here,
Okay.
so you have to move here and then make a climb if you look to climb up.
Yep. And it's a rope on both sides. This one's not a board up here, right? To the north?
No, it's just a rope that leads
Yeah, I
up to
see,
here.
I see.
Yeah,
And
More
it's
because
an
that's-
athletics check on that rope.
it is. Yeah. China's gonna have to figure out a way up as well.
I'm very frail. You know?
But just, it might mean that you just
Very
have to
frail.
climb
individual.
slow, you know?
It's an
I'm gonna
athletics
move-
check, bud.
I'm gonna move him up here.
Well, it's not that easy.
Why?
To
He's got
get
it.
The
There's a
rope is
full
here,
rope.
right?
To get from here to here, right?
Yeah,
Is a-
it's a
is a
little bit
climb.
of a jump. Not even here, like through this little like ridge right here.
You
It's a
can
dog, man.
yeah, you can make a hey, that's the way it works, then.
Yeah,
You
that's
can make
fine.
you can make a check
Yeah,
here.
let's-
You can make a
Yep.
athletics check here for Johnny. So using one of your
Yep.
actions. Yeah,
Chaney.
Channy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Channy. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do an athletics for him.
Let's see if the
Fucking
dog can
dog jump up there, buddy.
I think he
Oof.
should be able to jump on a nice
Uh,
10, a little ridge, you know.
just little ridge. Yeah, I'll say it's essentially a wolf, so it's pretty fucking big. Yeah, I'll say
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's able to jump
By
up.
sheer size, not athleticism, not graceful at all.
Yeah, not graceful, right? Kind of, momentarily kind of has to grip at the ground, but is able to ultimately pull itself up.
Okay, and I'm gonna use the rope.
All right, so you move up yourself and use climb action. So go ahead and roll me in athletics to see how. Yeah.
Yes.
Now this rope has carried 2 people, one of them heavily armored. So I'm gonna say,
Please do it. Please do it.
yeah.
You look like CM Punk trying to old loser.
Incredibly unathletic, but as you start to kind of worm your way up this rope, you get about halfway before you feel the weight of the rope slip back down as the grappling hook is kind of let go momentarily, and you're still hanging essentially midway up at the end of your last action. So you're still holding onto the rope basically, and you have to use another action to kind of finish the second half, but the rope seems to be giving way. All right. Okay. Harold, the one path you kind of had is now blocked by a turtle run hanging off the side of the rope, kind of swinging in the air.
Hang in there, Mr. Run. I'm gonna move over down here towards Oak.
Thanks, bud.
Can I try and climb this wall, please?
Yeah, go ahead and roll in athletics. I'm gonna say since you're doing it like this, it's gonna be a bit more difficult, because there's no rope or anything, right? You're just kind of like rock climbing, essentially. Yeah.
Sure. Is there anywhere I could see on this wall that could be easier, or is it just kind of uniform?
I'll say it's just gonna be like a straight athletics check.
Sure.
I was gonna say if you had acrobatics, that we could probably use that instead, but I think your athletics is much better than your acrobatics. So with the 20, you're able to spend one action to climb up here, and you're essentially there's this here in front of you. What Obak is essentially standing on is another wall. You'd have to make a second climb check.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay, so you've used 1, 2, and this would be your last action.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and roll me another athletics check. And the reason these athletics checks are here mostly is because if you fail them badly, you know what's happening.
Yeah.
Yep. You make it. So you're up here standing essentially side by side along the top of the wall with Obak. So that's your full turn. All right. I guess nobody technically sees this one, but and does it show up? Let me see if I click this. Does it show up? It doesn't show up for you. Perfect. Okay. Then this one. What is it? Okay. 25. Another 25, and it appears inside, and standing just here, starting to already kind of climb up the steps, is another one of these skeletal creatures. Next turn. Let's see. This is slow one, so it doesn't have as much movement, but still. Okay, so we'll just reveal it, and you'll see from behind. Actually, 15, and then you'll see another as a crowd starts to form here at the bottom of the stairs. Perfect. We should reveal this one as they are seen. Sorry. Where the fuck is this one though? Okay. Again, this one is actually going to move forward. Right here. And 1, 2, Gregor. 3, 4, Mastodon.
Sure.
Focusing Gregor. This one has a scimitar in its hand. And it goes to just take a strike in your direction. Misses.
I'm Davison today. It's been decided.
And it's pretty mindless, so it's just gonna both huge misses. no big deal. So, all right. This one, full eyes, turtle run as you are essentially a hanging target. You are target practice for this one, and
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna give it a +2 circumstantial bonus since you are essentially flat-footed in a way as you hang off the side of this rope. Just gonna take a shot.
Big body Bugatti real quick.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
17. And with that critical strike, I need you to make me an athletics check. A 6 for a 13 total. You're able to just narrowly continue holding on to the side of the rope.
I held on just fine.
Yeah, just barely.
Just fine.
Just
fine.
barely. We'll take a second.
Yeah, just fine. Go ahead.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh my god.
This is fucking nasty.
Bodied me on.
All right. A number 10. Because that is a critical hit again. I need to make me another athletics check to hold on to the rope.
Okay.
You hold on just fine.
I held on just fine
yeah.
the first time too.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Both times.
So as you're hanging there, Turtle, with both hands up, ensuring that you do not fall, these two arrows, just one after the other, will kind of pincushion you on either side. The first one hitting you and kind of spinning you in place, while the second one kind of gets you on the opposite side. You have these two arrows kind of sticking out of you, and the creature will just kind of use its last action to duck down. And last, this one stands up. So one action is to stand up, and second action, it's just gonna move here and essentially be like right below you, looking to, do whatever it can. Yeah, and that'll be it. All right, we come back around to Mastodon.
I will target the one in front of me with my great sword drawn, and I will attempt to pump this thing. Oh my god.
Very unfortunate. Doesn't even
buddy.
seem like the creature is all that difficult to hit, but as you take the swing, maybe you're doing so in a way that you're avoiding, because you have a greatsword. You're avoiding injuring Gregor more than anything, right? So it's not necessarily that you missed the creature, it's more that you avoided, hitting Gregor.
Yeah. This time I'm making it less risky, or more risky for Gregor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Second one definitely hits. All right, 8 points. So you hit the creature, but as you hit it, it seems like, and whichever way you would have done this would have been slashing or piercing. We'll assume that you're slashing. The blade hits, but the bones of the skeletal creature just kind of seem to not give, right? Like it just kind of clangs, like it's clanging against the sword, kind of pulls back. You do not feel you've done as much damage as you could. But you definitely have chipped out a piece. Yeah.
I'm gonna look at it and smile, and I'm gonna lay on hands.
Versus the undead.
Yep.
Okay. So the creature has to make a fortitude saving throw here.
Yeah, D16 basic fortitude. Sounds...
Okay, so you just reach out, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't have a great bonus to this, but to see on the roll, it just narrowly does it, but it'll still take half damage. So go ahead and roll damage.
So do I.
Yeah. 6, and crazily enough, despite, absolutely, you reach out, and as you force the the more positive energy, right? The healing energy, essentially, into the creature. It crumbles in front of you. So, that's all 3 actions.
Yeah.
Gregor, you now have this small kind of mob building up to the south, or yeah, essentially the south of you, while there are a number of the skeletal guards along the wall.
Mastodon, can you handle the ones at the staircase, and I'll start trimming the numbers over there.
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna draw my bow.
All right, 1 action. Draw the new longbow, correct?
Yeah.
Perfect.
The devil longbow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna. Okay, so that's 1 action, right?
Yep.
Okay, so then I guess I'm going to. Is that no? That's melee. I'm
That's
doing
melee.
what is it? Hunted shot.
Hunted shot. Yeah. So, ranged weapons, roll a 0, which you have. Take 2 quick shots against the one you hunt. Perfect. So you're targeting the one in the far back. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
That hits, and then go ahead and roll the second one. Be safe. Both hit. Go ahead and roll damage for both of those really quick. And we'll see. So, first one, piercing damage, I believe. Yeah, the arrow slams into it and kind of skitters off the ground. The second,
Cool.
yeah, but let's see. For the purpose of you combine it at the very least. So, I will have to do this manually because it won't count otherwise. But the second shot will. The first one hits, but the second one goes forward, and you see a piece of the bone splinter outwards, kind of like a quick burst. The creature still stands, although now kind of hindered by the broken bones of its skeletal physique. So, you still have 1 more action, I believe. So 1.
I guess I'll take another shot.
Yeah, at full. Who knows? Potentially hit still. Fortunately, misses. The arrow just passes through the openings of the bone. All right, Obak.
Alright, let's rage. And then for the first time I'll use this great axe that I picked up last session.
Perfect.
Jeez.
Still hit. Roll damage.
Thank goodness we're fighting zombies.
Yeah, and so, swing will come down, carving into the creature. Oh, yeah, you recognize that this creature, because you were slashing at it with the great axe, it seems like your great axe travels further through the weakened, kind of soft tissue of the creature as you rip it through. It seems like it takes additional damage to your eyes.
Right.
So, yeah, 1 more action, I believe.
Yes. Okay, then I'll just strike again.
Fortunately, just narrowly misses. All right. So, there we go. All right. This one standing here will. Yeah, I'll say you at the angle. So, yeah, I think. Damn. We're gonna roll for this. I'm gonna say 1 is for Turtle, and then 3 is for
Sure.
2 and 3 are for Harold, and 4 is for Obak. So depending on who they'll target. 4 is for Obak. Okay, so they'll turn, changing their focus, and just fire off an arrow towards Obak as he stands atop the wall. This arrow will miss. You'll take. Yeah, we'll go for second strike. Critically miss, and then, yeah, this creature's mindless, so it doesn't really think all too well, but it just looks to kind of fire shot after shot after shot. And each one will miss. Perfect. Okay. Alright, this one up at the front, yeah, I think it's just dead focused on Gregor because of the attacks.
Not
Arrow will,
up in here.
yeah, arrow will go wide. Second one, it'll miss. And third one, critically missed. So, yeah.
Not up
God,
in
they're
here.
losers.
Yeah, they're not very good. They're just kind of firing off shot after shot after shot. All right, turtle run. Stuck on the rope. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check to see if you can make it up the rest of the way.
Yeah, sure. I haven't been stuck. I've been hanging on perfectly fine.
Oh,
My
even-
hands are very comfortable. I don't have any calluses on my fingers.
You've
There's
been
no
stuck.
lactic acid. No, there's no lactic acid buildup in my muscles. I'm a well-oiled machine right now. Incredible hanging off.
Did you
of
say
this
actic acid?
Yeah. No aqua acid, but oh no.
I'll say that's enough to get you the rest of the way
Of
up.
course, it's enough.
So.
Perfectly comfortably fine too. It was amazing how I glided up with 2 arrows stuck on my side.
Yeah, I'll say it's very difficult. You're essentially crawling up off the ground, like, just barely able to get to your feet. Yeah.
Dribbling pee out, maybe.
I'll say it's not.
Okay. Well,
I'll say it's not.
for the fictional aspect of it.
So where is?
So you look before you and you see, as you look around, you see a number of these skeletal kind of warriors and a group at the south. Yeah.
I'm gonna cast guidance on. Who's up next here? I'm gonna cast guidance on Gregor.
Okay.
Yo, thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Full
I
full
cast
wheel.
guidance on Gregor. And
Okay.
that should be my actions because of the athletics check, right?
Well, no, there's one to get up and then one for guidance. So you have one more
Yeah.
action.
I'm gonna look over to Harold across from the tower, knowing that I can't make it to him. Put my fist up and say soon.
Okay.
Oh, Harold returns the gesture. He lifts his fist in the air, sticks his finger out.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
just gonna make a cup of coffee real quick.
Fair. Harold, what are we doing?
I turn my attention to the shambler in front of me, and Harold is gonna.
I'm gonna say you're still like 5 feet up in the air above this creature. So, I didn't. If you're gonna do like a melee strike here, I'm gonna say you probably have to move down, or you're gonna take some you're gonna take some minus circumstantial bonus, because the only reason it didn't happen to Obak is because he's got the reach weapon. He's got the
In that
the extra
case,
feet. Yeah.
I'll cast telekinetic projectile using a stone or a piece of debris.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I'll go for slashing damage.
Yeah.
Do this. Oh wait, sorry.
Yeah, you're gonna roll to the attack first. Unfortunately, it misses. The stone
Terrible
lifts up
roll.
off the ground and slams into the back. So that's,
I'll use an action to use Arcane Cascade,
okay.
divert the spell's power, and keep it within me.
Okay, fair enough.
And that's it.
All right, perfect. All right, moving back across on the opposite side. Yeah, this one's gonna head right in. Say it gets right here, and since you're right there, one action to move. Let's see. It has the scimitar drawn. I'll take a sweeping strike. Miss Gregor. And Gregor cannot be hit today. Yeah, both strikes miss.
Unbelievable.
All right. The other one will follow up using one of its actions to move. I'll say, how much movement does it have? 25? Yeah. I'll say it gets right up here. Targeting Gregor as well. And it'll take a single bite.
Oh no.
It misses. Jeez. So, oh, you know what? I went to the wrong spot. Doesn't matter, because they couldn't have reached the other one. Alright. And this one is dead. We should move it. Participant. Okay. Back one. Forward one. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I think this one will turn and focus instead over here. It'll move up here. Focus on Harold Lennon here. One has its short bow still out, so we'll take a shot in your direction. It'll miss, and a second shot will soon follow. And it'll miss.
Too bad,
Alright.
pal.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. So, this one's gonna reach up, and I'm gonna roll d4 for this. Alright, so focusing on Obak. The zombie shambler will kind of reach up and grab towards your legs, essentially trying to grab at your leg and kind of just pull you down. So I think, yeah, it'll make a athletics check against your fortitude DC. So what is your fortitude? It's, I believe, what's the bonus to it?
Sorry, bonus to which?
Fortitude.
Fortitude is +10.
Okay, so it has to make a 20. It's 10 plus, yeah, 10 plus 10. So, it is attempting to essentially just rip out your legs from underneath you. You're able to keep your legs firm. It'll do, let's see.
I'm back.
All right, and then I think it'll take a, yeah, it'll look to grab you essentially. So, oops, that's the wrong one. That's the success. Fuck, let me just put the actual grab action. Sorry.
Would grab be considered a manipulate action?
Let me take a look.
Or attack?
I
Probably
think
an
it's
attack.
I think it's just a strike if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So it's like, it's a grapple action. Sorry. Yeah, it's just an attack or a skill technically. So yeah, it'll just take another grapple. So it'll basically do the same thing. But because it's an attack, it'll come at a -5. So. Okay. 5, add. I think it has to hit a natural 20 to get you, and it doesn't. So, yeah, it just kind of stands there, kind of crawling, or yeah, essentially clawing at your legs and your feet, but unable to get. All right, Mastodon.
I would like to walk over to this jobber here and attempt to overhead pump with the greatsword.
Okay. Yeah, more than enough. Go ahead and roll damage.
Big
12.
pump.
Yeah, so, much like the other, as you step forward, Macedon, and you slice this creature with the greatsword, your blade travels further through the soft, kind of weakened flesh, and you feel as though you've done a greater amount of damage.
You did your job. Shit.
Pleased with my work, I'd like to attempt another swing.
Fair enough.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Alright, roll damage. Alright, so you step forward, attack, and even that is enough. The creature will fall before you.
Peter Pompieri.
Alright. Okay. Gregor, you have this creature right in front of you, essentially in your space.
Could I take out my main hands or my dual wield as one action?
You'd have
Or would I have?
Yeah, because you drew the longsword, or you'd have to drop the longbow if you want to do it for free. But if you want to stow it, it'll cost an action, and then an action.
I can
to
just
draw.
pick it back up, right?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna drop it and
All right, one action, pull out the. Yeah, fair enough. They do not
I'll
have
whip it out.
attack of opportunity, so they can't look to get a hold of you.
All right, I'm gonna whip it out and would do twin takedown.
All right. First strike
Sheesh.
misses, but let's see what the second one has. Second misses, unfortunately. So
Not Davison anymore.
yeah.
All right. I don't have any actions left, right?
No, yeah, one action to draw. Well, technically you do. You have one.
I'm gonna swing one more time with that hammer.
All right, this will be at the third. So,
All right.
wait, is the bonus correct? Because you're doing.
Oh, I have guidance. I don't know if that
Yeah, the guidance would just be a +1.
would it hit for the first one then.
No, I wouldn't.
What is it? 14 AC, I guess.
There you go. Yeah. So, unfortunately, all three strikes just don't really find purchase as you would hope they would.
This dude's just crowding me, bro. I can't get good aim. Yo,
Yeah.
Mastodon, help me out.
Yeah, and as you're kind of backing up, Macedon is already there, so kind of, as the creature kind of crowds forward, that you're kind of stuck in this tough spot.
Hey, dude, I'm doing my job, you know.
All right, Obak. This creature clawing at your feet, but
Oh,
you know what it's
yeah, deal
trying
with
to
this
do to you.
jobber at my feet. Trying to, just a big overhand swing of the axe.
Big one, bud.
Try and cleave him in half. Ah, fuck.
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah, even your 1 is a 13. That's disgusting.
Dude, fighters are nasty.
I'm gonna leave this one for Harold to clean up.
Yeah, just
And
like, you miss, you're like, fuck it.
Yeah, fuck this.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Said, fuck all that. Hey, fuck all that.
I'm gonna zoom on over there.
All right. Assume. Oh, no, actually, because you have reach. Perfect. So go ahead and take a strike at whichever one you're targeting.
And then I'm targeting one up here.
Yeah, this will be at the second one, right? So map
Yeah.
class.
There we go.
Still hits. 20 damage.
Oh my god.
Let's see.
Big body Bugatti.
Yeah, you're
Whoa,
able to
like it
break
was nothing.
through. Yeah, the great axe, just with the weight behind it and the sudden movement and essentially you're throwing your entire body into it, right? As you force all the weight behind it, it just cleaves through the bones of the creature, just one after the other, with a quick kind of snapping sound as you, straight through it. Perfect. All right, that's your 3 actions, right? Or, yeah, 3 actions. All right, this one's been taking shots. I'm gonna say it's gonna roll 1-2 for a turtle, and then 3-4 for Obak, who's essentially just suddenly appeared directly in front of it.
Sure.
Let's hope it
This is
doesn't
the
hit,
one that
dude.
does me.
Yes. Just as you're getting to your feet and shit, right?
Yep.
Go
Go for it.
It's gonna take a shot in your direction. It hits.
Oh my god.
This is gonna kill me.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You're gonna a single as the arrow whizzes by, it breaks through the armor just enough to give you like a long cut along your back, but nothing too severe. After that, I think the focus then instead turns to Obak in front of him.
You'd say that cut stings though. It's stingy.
Yeah, it's like
No. Yeah.
yeah. Take a shot at you from point blank, and final action. Yeah, it'll just continue to take a shot. These aren't very smart creatures. They just kind of look to do damage as best they can. One after the other after the other.
They're just little guys.
Yeah, little guys. So, Turtle, you've made it to your feet. You've guided and others. There's a skeletal creature standing in front of you, crowding Gregor. What are you doing? Alright. We're gonna say that Turtle holds his action. Because he had to take a quick run. So I'll drop. Yeah, we're gonna continue moving forward. I'm gonna say that if Asa wasn't back by the end of the round, then unfortunately he'll have to wait till next round. So, Harold.
Okay, where I'm stood right now, can I safely move back, or would I be falling off of a wall?
You'd be
like
falling
5
off a
foot?
wall. Yeah, you'd be
Okay,
falling.
so I'm perched on like the court. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna, standing where I am, I'm gonna target these 2 skeleton guards, casting electric arc.
Okay. Electric arc. So they have to make the basic reflex save. So let me that. One they both fail. They're going to roll damage. So 8. So they take full damage. So let's do one at a time. All right. First one. Yeah, it seems like even though there's a resistance there available, just for whatever reason, breaks through, and one of the bones kind of splinter, and just as that bone splinters, the rest kind of just crumble beneath it. The other one takes the electric arc and just kind of, the electricity kind of arcs all across the skeletal kind of chest and the bones within the creature, but it doesn't seem to do much. It doesn't even seem like it reacts to it.
Okay, and next, Harold is gonna tumble through space and hop next to the skeleton.
Okay. Dimensional assault. So up
Yeah.
to half your speed. That is 15 feet. There you go.
And I get to make a strike,
Tempo
a melee strike.
Oh yeah, within your reach. It is going to roll damage. I think that might just be enough. Yep. So, the electric arc kind of passes through these two, and the one that seems unbothered by it will kind of take a step forward to, where you used to be over here. But within that moment, Harold, you just, kind of phase out and reappear just beside it, and with a strike at the, we'll say the ribs of the creature, right? You just kind of rip through, breaking bones, and the skeletal ass will drop before you. All right.
Nice.
All right, the crowding one. Still entirely focused on Gregor with the first strike. Misses wide.
We.
Yeah, it's just gonna one after the other. Critical miss, and last but not least, a critical miss. Yeah. Just continues to unable to strike. All right. Moving back down. Yeah, the zombie shambler kind of like just, almost like it's really unaware of, just kind of turn, see the commotion behind it, see Harold, and just immediately target. Use one action to move up, And the second action to bite.
Scary.
And the bite will miss. So, coming back around, Mastodon.
Back. My bad.
I'm gonna come
Okay.
over to this guy right here in front of me, target him, and with my mindfulness and my experience in battle, I don't know if that's applicable, Trill. I'd like to kind of, instead of using the sharp end, the end of either side of the greatsword, I'd like to position it in a way, because it's a big boy, that I'm doing an overhead bluntly, using the side of the blade instead of trying to cut through. Is that possible?
I believe it depends on the weapon. So, unfortunately, the weapon that you have can only do piercing or slash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
Big weapon, but yeah, it's a smart idea,
Well,
but just not the weapon.
hey no dice. Yeah. You'd say that you respect the try, though.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and just swing at the loser regularly then.
Yeah, slam right into it.
Oops, it doesn't matter.
And yeah, it made literally not matter. Let's see. Cleaving right through it. You know, it has a bit of give, but for a moment, right? Like you feel like you've essentially slashed your blade through a hard object, but as soon as the first kind of bone gives, the blade just clears straight through. All right.
Very respectful. Let's see here.
There's only one of these creatures left, so I'm gonna say, unless you guys really want to play it out, like I can just like, I don't know that this thing is gonna do enough damage to matter, and it's all alone. So we could
move on. I think,
we
yeah.
could probably call this over, right?
Say that
It's
its
just like a
jobber
gambler.
body starts falling apart in front of us.
Yeah, I'll just say like without much, like the creature is like
Harold puts his hands on him real quick,
Yeah. No.
Delivers the hands.
Yeah. So we can just say that the creature just falls. Yeah. So
losers.
All right. So as of now, our encounter has ended. Everybody's where they are. Standing atop this wall, you look past, and it looks like, even though the kind of wild growth has kind of taken parts of this area back, the damage here is recent. And I will say, for those of you trained in occult, you can go ahead and make me a roll here, but only if you're trained. So you at least have to have that minimum trained. If it's something that's not trained at all, then bother rolling. So I think that's like Harold. Not sure if that applies for like Obak for anybody. I think like Obak is not. Yeah, subtweeting you. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Who else? I just want to make sure it's. Yeah. Damn, is it only? Yeah, it is. Wow. Okay. It's only Harold who's able to make this observation. So as you finish laying these creatures to waste, Harold, you're the one that kind of like with a sense of clarity, as the others are kind of, they weren't able to cause too much damage. I mean, the turtle run got pretty fucked up, but for the most part, everybody else, was able to escape relatively unharmed. You realize that creatures like this do not have their own self-control. Creatures like this are controlled by another. And from what you faced here, there surely has to be somebody pulling the strings.
Okay. And that's the main part that I take away from this, is that they're being controlled.
Exactly, yeah. These are mindless creatures. They They only work to the whim of whatever master they have. You know.
Gotcha. Can I make a check to have a look at the top of the battlements while I'm here and see if there's anything worth scavenging?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and make a perception check. Does anybody else want to do anything as well as you kind of look around?
Can I make a scout check? Is that a fucking thing even?
It would be perception, right, to kind of look around, essentially.
Oh, sure.
But
okay.
we'll say that you're like looking in the general area rather than, you know, like searching through boxes and shit, right? Okay. Yeah, so you're keeping a watchful eye. And yeah, you're atop the battlement, so as you look around, I mean, you have full kind of clear view on either side. Everything looks completely clear. You look like, you know, this battle kind of happened really quickly, so even though there has been some noise, it doesn't seem to have caught any attention just yet. 17 for Harold. Does anybody else want to do anything before we jump into Harold's?
I'd like to look to the ground real quick, and I say, Dreichi, I need your powers now, and I'd like to make a desperate prayer to recover a focus point.
You can do this once per day. I think it's free.
It's free and it's once a day, so.
So, yeah, I'm gonna say you don't really, with the way it works, you don't necessarily know exactly how you draw your power, but yeah, you take a moment, and yeah, you're able to regain that. So I think you're back up to 2 focus points.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm full.
You're good. So, yeah. How does it look? Does Mastodon like drop to his knee with his sword in hand? Like, how does that look?
I kind of just put my head down, and I'm almost looking at the ground.
Okay.
And you hear me, yeah, like great sword in the ground, you know, great sword in the ground, like it's like a cane, you know.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
like you're
just,
drawing the energy from the earth almost.
Mouthing some weird words that nobody understands.
Yeah,
sure.
Perfect. All right. Anybody else got anything they want to do? All right. So then,
Feel the heft of his new axe. I'm just kind of disappointed with how the first battle with it went. Get some couple more practice swings in.
yeah, fair enough. Absolutely. So, you crowed together. All right, Harold, as you take a look, a lot of the stuff that is left behind isn't in great condition. Even the weapons that these skeletal creatures were kind of wielding are very old, kind of rusted, not the best of gear. So with the 17, as you kind of take a look around, I'm gonna say that the only thing that that you see, and it's actually not even coming from like one of the boxes that stands atop the battlements, it's kind of been ripped open. It's actually along one of these skeletal bodies, and it's almost by accident. Like you're not even looking at the body directly, it's just kind of passing as you're looking over it and kind of around it. But you see a small necromantic rune etched into one of the skeletal, one of the bones of the skeletal creature that has been kind of laid low. We'll say it's this one directly. I've said this a few times, but the way necromancy works and the way runes work in Ekros, each necromancer essentially has almost like a calling card with their runic style, right? And as you look over this, I need you to give me an academia.
A maker's mark, you would say?
Yeah, actually that's like the perfect way to describe it. Yeah, essentially like every necromancer has their own kind of maker's mark with the way they're able to animate corpses and such. With a 20. So you studied, you spent plenty of time within, you know, researching through books, and you're also kind of trained in occultism. So you've spent a lot of that time directly in more occult, kind of niche, darker magics sorts of studies. And with the 20, I'm going to say because this is a trained skill. Yeah. And your occultism is also, yeah, okay. Yeah, because of the fact that you're trained in both these skills, this mark is not unfamiliar to you. Just take a look as you try to consider where you'd seen it before. It clicks. This is the necromantic rune of a being known as, let me pull the name up really quick. Alright, to make sure I get it right. The title is the Green Flame, but I need to draw you in on the exact name, because I've forgotten. Okay, let's see. Okay. So Tybalt of the Green Flame.
Was that Tybalt?
Tybalt, yeah, Tybald. Tybalt of the Green Flame. And this, essentially Maker's Mark of Necromancy, is attached to essentially a Death Knight, one of the more powerful of all necromantic creatures. And that rune is extremely old. Extremely old. Like, to see it in action currently, because from your studies, Sir Tybalt has been kind of long gone, so to speak. Dealt with, taken care of, no longer in the world. But you see it now in action.
Is this a rune that I could now recreate? Or is it something that's signature to the Tybalt?
You can attempt to recreate it, but it would be extremely difficult, and would have some potential negative consequences. Right.
Interesting. As a rune, does it have any special effects that I could determine besides controlling the undead, or is it just specifically just for controlling them?
It is specifically for reanimating and controlling undead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Harold kind of kneels there dumbfounded as he looks over this rune and recognizes it, and glances up down the corridor to see the rest of the band kind of scattered around. He's gonna move over and congregate in one place with them.
Okay.
So we can start having a conversation. Guys, this fight is not over yet. These undead are being controlled, and the man controlling them, he shouldn't exist right now. So we have a problem.
What's that supposed to mean? Shouldn't exist right now.
Well, he's beyond ancient. So this must have something to do with the rift and the veil.
Yeah. To give some context, it's probably like 300 years old, right? Was the last time Tybalt would have been, written about in any regard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not super ancient then, just old.
Yeah, just beyond the lifetime.
Well, considering that, I mean, we got this noble guy who seemingly, appeared out of nowhere. Maybe there's something going on with time.
Maybe. I think it's also worth talking about how you and I got shot out of the safe house earlier.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think it's, it'd be obvious to a studied boy like you.
Trade. this is a problem.
Well, despite all these enlightening facts, it doesn't much matter.
It
We
doesn't.
only
No,
have
we have
we
a job
only
to
have
do.
we have the path forward. There's if this thing is as dangerous as you say it is, this necromancer, then it's gonna find us despite any direction we should take. There's no way to sneak to it, so we have to keep pressing forward.
Hey Tog, I've got this arrow sticking out of my waist. Do you think you could help me out?
Yeah, I could try to do something, but
He's got two
if
arrows
if
in him.
if I fail, um, it'll cause more damage. And I don't know if you noticed, but I have 2 of my own sticking out of me as well, bud.
Well, hurry up and heal yourself then, and let's get this over
Yeah.
with.
So how
Yeah.
are we gonna handle the situation, Shro? I've
Yeah.
been meaning to,
Yeah, so the way you want to do it is go ahead and when you check your actions, look for, you'll see like encounter, exploration, and downtime. You're wanting to hit exploration here, and you're wanting to do the treat wounds action on yourself. So if you target yourself and then hit the treat wounds action, actually you can even see it like on the little bar where if you hover over actions, you should see it on the bottom row. Yeah, so just target yourself and give it a shot. I don't know if you actually, I think you technically could. You could die from this, though. It's worthy of a roll. So, yeah. So if you
It
see
says
the
I
thing,
don't have sufficient medicine skill. I think I use.
yeah, it's not reading the thing, but it's fine.
Yeah, I can't roll it.
Here. I mean, I don't want to roll it for you, but basically, if you look in the chat, like the description port at the very bottom,
okay.
you'll see treat wounds.
Yeah,
script
the
macro.
1d. Yep.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's the one that's not letting me roll because I don't have enough medicine skill.
oh, nature. There you go.
Yeah.
And then, do
Because
you want me to
it
roll it
takes
for
my
you?
nature, right? Well,
Yeah.
if I can roll it, then I'll roll it, but it doesn't really matter. Like, it's gonna be the same.
Yeah, for some reason it's not reading your nature rather than
Right.
the medicine.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
maybe do I roll nature instead?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Just roll it as a nature check, and you're looking to beat, I think, a 15, and then you can. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
But hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, but.
You rolled
Hold on.
a.
Can we be clear that it's a nature roll on that treat wound?
Yeah, that means it's still a.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or rather, I mean,
I'm-
the fact that it's a natural one is what decides. So,
Yep.
So you take 5 points of damage, and we'll say the way that you're trying to treat these wounds, you're trying to get the arrow out, but I mean, they're barbed, they're very difficult, and as you get, I'll say you get both arrows out, but it comes at a cost, and you're having to kind of rip through the skin, essentially. You're not looking so good. Maybe better to reach the next safe house and try to take it. So for the time being, maybe no oh, actually, sorry. You can expend the talisman to just call it a failure, and you can expend this talisman but keep 5 HP or lose 5 HP.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Are you trained in medicine?
Yeah, I am. That's what I'm trying to understand. Like, I don't think that was the.
No, you're not trained in medicine.
Dude,
You're
I rolled nature on my wolf.
It doesn't
That's
matter.
why.
What matters though is the fact that it was a natural one. So it doesn't matter. Like the bonus could be anything, but it's a natural one, so it's still a critical failure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for 5, I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So for you, it would still be a 10, which is still a failure, which means the fact that it's a natural one makes it a critical failure. So, do you want to save 5 HP and just use up the talisman, or do you?
No.
Okay, so you're gonna hold on to the talisman.
I'm gonna take it, and then I'm gonna use my potion instead.
Okay, fair enough. Take a drink. Swig it back. It'll give you at least a couple. One use. It returns to 5. You're back up to 10 at the very least.
Yep.
There you go. All right. So. Oops. There we go. Okay. With that in mind, we'll say that the horn figure just kind of finally pulls himself up behind Turtle, right? Just kind of, reaches the top and kind of brushes himself off, kind of watching, looking around. So, trying to heal on the, time pressured moment, probably not the best idea. And actually, we'll say that the dog also kind of climbs up. Well. So, you look to make it to the next safe house? Or is there anything anybody else wants to do while you're standing here?
I don't think I've got anything else I want to do.
Perfect. All right. Move away and continue on the path forward. Despite running into combat, ultimately, this is still going to earn you back a lot of time, right? Combat, a couple of rounds, like that combat sequence took, like half a minute, right? So, technically, like in the sense of combat, like that's how fast it went down. So you finish kind of doing that, spending kind of 10 minutes, in total, maybe you spent about 15 to 20 minutes at this location, kind of looking around, trying to find some stuff, and you were able to kind of gather the information that you were able to gather. So beyond that, you just kind of continue to press forward, focusing now on reaching the next safe house, because at this point, right, you're going to gain some hours, making your way kind of further, closer to the place, and by the time you reach the safe house and rest, you will have, made up a good portion, we'll say that you'd probably be like 75% of the way there. So, continuing on the path ahead, who wants to be in front?
Probably be one of our big boys.
I'll be in the middle somewhere.
Buck will take the front.
Obak takes the front. All right, Obak, I need you to roll me a d6.
Let's go.
Very nice. Let me go ahead and roll. This might look like somebody else. Okay, perfect. So, as you press forward, Obak now at the lead with the great axe, kind of looking for another opportunity to kind of, potentially use it. And you're back on the more direct route, so you're no longer, trying to go away, like, unbothered. Sorry.
I'd like to say that as Obak took the lead, I kind of I'm right on his tails.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough. So the two of you are up front, kind of, potentially even shoulder to shoulder, right, as you move down these narrow kind of streets, acting as the wall of the group as you push forward. And so, as you do so, despite not sneaking, despite making noise, right, the rattling of the heavy armor and such, you were able to press forward unbothered. Very lucky roll here. And within a couple of hours travel, again, the city is alive, certainly, with much sounds, right, all spread all throughout the city. But the way you're heading, you're getting extremely lucky to avoid any encounters, or unlucky depending on your point of view. In any case, next few hours are unbothered, and you have successfully arrived at the next safe house.
Wow.
Can you explain, Trill, and I apologize if you did when I stepped away, but can you explain what happened to the mysterious devil
He's still with you. Yeah, he just wasn't...
Okay, so for RP's sake, can you describe what played out when we approached the battle?
Essentially, yeah, so what played out when you approached the battle? So, essentially, the horned figure would have kind of stayed back to kind of watch you all, because he's not necessarily like here to participate in combat, at least like not on that scale, because at first it was more like we're gonna figure out how to get around this thing, right?
Yeah.
And it essentially, like, again, 30 seconds worth of combat.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, roughly it was like he was waiting for an opportunity to climb the rope.
Yeah,
It took a long
arms
time.
folded.
Yeah,
Okay.
it took a long
Fair
time
enough.
because Turtle Run was hanging off the rope, getting shot at with arrows. So like essentially by the time the combat was over, he was just making it to the combat, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of look at everybody as we approach, and I notice the same old style, the doorway.
Yeah.
And given what happened last time, I look at both Harold and Gregor, and I say, "Your arms. Look for some rubble on the side of the wall, and throw that shit covered under the rubble. You're not going to be able to enter with those arms unless we break that seal."
So let's break the seal then.
I have a feeling if we continue to destroy the safety of the safe houses we were provided by those other two demons, we're gonna have to pay for it later.
Harold's going to attempt to just walk into the safe house. Can they do it?
With the weapon in hand and everything.
Yeah, what happens?
Yeah, like you're running right into a fucking brick wall.
Okay, he walks headfirst into the wall and goes,
Yeah.
Okay, that confirms it, and he'll unravel the hand wraps.
Yeah, I'll even say, like, you take, because you're doing it so confidently, you take 4 points of damage. Like,
Okay.
your nose starts to bleed.
In a Looney Tunes fashion.
Yeah.
Alright, and he'll look around nearby. Maybe there's like a little cave of rubble that he can store them underneath.
Fair enough.
And then he'll try and walk into the safe house again.
Roll me a straight D20.
Oh, that was the wrong one, my bad.
Yeah, wrong one. As you approach, you feel like there's a bit of resistance. Kind of almost like there's something in front of you kind of pushing you back only just slightly. Like maybe like almost like you're walking into headwind, right?
Yeah.
But you're able to ultimately kind of push through that and make your way inside. It actually kind of, there is a bit of like visible effort, but once you reach a certain point, you kind of just walk right through. Like, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, like it kind of flicks with you. And you're inside. And once you reach a certain point, there's no more of that feeling like pushing you out.
I'm gonna chuckle and walk through, and again have my flint and steel in hand to get a fire going.
Yeah, no problem. Walk right in. Gregor. Because everybody else can walk right in, no problem.
I will also walk right in.
Yeah, you're good.
So you're not going to disable the runes, Harold?
Get the weapon outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just lean it up against the wall.
Just lean it up against the wall, out in the open.
I mean, where else am I going to put it?
Well, you could stash it under some rubble or something. Yeah,
put it up against the rubble, find a pallet, you know what I mean? Put some dirt, sprinkle some dirt on top.
Yeah, this is a ruined city around you, so there's,
All right.
you know,
is there any
shit all
like
around.
crates or something outside the
Sure,
the
yeah.
room? Or, yeah, I'll throw.
Just toss it in one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
For everybody.
And you go to make your way inside. Roll me a D20.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
He says, roll me a D20. There you go.
I'll say that you can hero point this, buddy. It's allowed you to reroll, but you have to take the next roll. Like, you have to take whatever result comes from it.
Okay, I'll hero point it.
All right.
So I'm gonna take your word and assume that this is a really bad punishment if I roll.
I'm praying you roll another 5.
Sleeping in the fucking street, bud.
It's a
Oh
6.
my.
Wow.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's
okay.
better. That's better, you know.
I manifested it.
Yeah,
You did, yeah.
You go to stand up, and there is a bit of flex. Like you're able to kind of like slightly make your way in, like maybe like half a step in, but then it's just like an overwhelming amount of like, yeah, it just stops you from entering. The hmm, the horned creature will just kind of like step forward and kind of put his hand on your shoulder. Don't worry, we can I can make safe, one of these other buildings just around. Do not have to worry about using the safe house.
You sure? You guys all right with that?
Are you
Yeah,
alright
it's-
with that?
That's your problem, buddy. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, then I guess so.
Take those fucking weapons with you while you're at
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and grab the hand wraps and the bow back. And yeah, we'll just take like the building over, like one across. And yeah, you'll make your way inside, and the one creature will kind of just quickly inscribe these again, and to you still that red flare passes through, kind of etching out each rune as it makes safe. So everybody else heads in on the other one, so it is 4 in one and 2 in the other. So we'll assume
Hey,
that
cuddle up with the demon for warmth.
Come on, man. Come on.
yeah, come on, dude. And so calling it a rest, I'll say that you're able to spend the next few hours suturing up any wounds or anything you've gathered, enough to heal you all up to full. And I think here's a good time to pause and pick up next time, as you all have made it. And at this point we'll say you're 80% of the way. So from here forward, it's gonna be yeah,
Be a fucking doozy.
Smooth
fuck.
sailing as it's been.
Yeah,
Yeah.
From
we're
here
gonna make it,
forward,
guys.
smooth sailing as it's been.
We're gonna make it.
That's it.
it's been- so
You almost died today, buddy. Fucking
Yeah.
two
Almost
hot
went down.
ones.
They
He held on
say that,
fine.
but
He
I held on fine.
fine.
I'm perfectly fine. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
so
It's
Yeah.
okay though.
So we'll pick up next time with the whatever happens in the overnight, and then have
Whatever happened there.
yeah, and then have the final trek. So you're 2 days in. This next one will be the start of the third day. So shit. I'm gonna sign on the
Great
stream and everything.
pace. Beautiful
Yeah.
pace.
I'll be back. So give me a second. I'll be right back. All right. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you'd like to get involved, the best place to be is in the Discord, as that is where I will be reaching out for the next series of campaigns, which will actually be the recruitment will be starting soon. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be some longer campaigns with members of the Discord that have been around for a while, and potentially even like a couple of new faces kind of filled in just to make it through. But yeah, if you'd like to get involved, the best place to be is in the Discord. We do a lot of community world building stuff, and it's been a bit slow as of late, but starting up tomorrow, be back to regular streaming, lore streams, community streams, all kinds of stuff. So we're going to be a lot busier moving forward. So if you'd like to get involved, that's the place to be. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a good day or a good evening, depending on where you are in the world. And yeah, maybe we'll see you tomorrow, as we'll be around at the same. Yeah, the community streams return tomorrow. I will be streaming tomorrow, 100%. No bullshit. No fuck around. Yeah, it's been a lot of start and stop, but we're gonna jump back into it. Either way. As you can still see, there's still like a little bit of sickness. I don't feel sick, but I'm still coughing up, and I'm still like getting rid of this shit, this congestion from COVID. But in any case, thank you all. Hope you have a good day or a good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. If you're going to be around, if not, we'll see you when we see you. So peace.